Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I wanted to give you guys a video that was a little bit more informative, and I will have some gameplay playing in the back, but this video is going to be 5 tips and tricks on how you can be a better Call of Duty Modern Warfare player in terms of multiplayer, and some of these tips you can go ahead and apply in Warzone as well. They kind of go hand in hand with each other, but the first one is going to be using your minimap to your advantage, right? You want to be looking at your minimap at all times, or even if you're not looking at it constantly, kind of like glance up there every once in a while. If you don't have a UAV, the enemy, if they don't have a suppressor on the gun, when they shoot, they'll come out as little red dots, so you kind of get an idea of where they're located at. And even if they don't have that, look at your teammates. There's the little blue triangles that are on the minimap. Look at your teammates. If one of them are closer to you and they get into an engagement and they die, you know that the teammate just died in that area, so you know that an enemy is going to be around that area. So that kind of gives you an idea. Okay, well, this guy's here, let me reposition myself, or let me wait for him, or even let me rush him. I already know in what area he's at, so use that mini map to your advantage. That's the first one. So number 2 is going to be your sensitivity, something that I think is really well overlooked. And if you're a beginner, I would really start with like a 5.5 more than likely. That's kind of like the sweet spot in the sensitivities, where it's not too high and it's not too low. You can still snap onto people fairly quickly, and you probably won't be able to turn on people because of the time to kill in this game is really quick. But once you start getting used to that 5.5, you can start going up to 6.6, 7.7, 8.8. I would really recommend you to stay between 6 and 10, but you can push all the way up to 20. I have a friend that is at Insane 20, and he does really good. But I wouldn't recommend you to go from a 5.5 to like a 10, or even go from a 5 to like a 14 or things like that. Work your way up. You have a lot of time. Play quite some time with that sensitivity, and then work your way up. That's what I did. I can play at a 10-10, but I decided to play majority of my matches at around a 6 or a 7. That way I have the best accuracy that I can, because if I don't have the best accuracy, I will not be hitting my shots, and you will be dying a lot, right? And you'll be losing those gunfight engagements, when if you had a lower sensitivity where you can control the recoil and everything, you will win those engagements. So that is number 2. So number 3 is going to be map awareness. So map awareness is completely different than using the minimap. Map awareness, if you don't know already, study the maps. So if you jump into a game, study how people rush. Study their routes that they take to rush, to either study where they camp, what corners they take, things like that. If you don't want to get a negative KD, or want to be losing games while you're studying the maps, go into a private match, or get some buddies and do a couple of matches with them and learn the maps, right? Learn the maps, the routes that you take and everything, and then go into a multiplayer match and then learn where they camp. You'll learn where people camp, where people sit in the corners, where people will sit with their guns mounted or they're sniping, things like that. You really need to know that way you don't go through their line of sight and you get gunned down. And you know what routes that they're taking when they flank, what routes they're taking when they rush you through the middle, through the sides, and that way you're prepared to engage in a gunfight and more than likely win, because you're already expecting them to be rushing. So map awareness is something that's very useful, and once you have that for technically all the maps, you will be doing very well, because you're going to be expecting it. The one that I really don't do well though is Piccadilly. Piccadilly for me is just, I don't know, I do not like that map. I don't know any rush routes, I don't know any routes to take, I don't know where to snipe. It's just, that's a map that I have had really big trouble with, and I probably won't even be learning it, because I do not play it. If I get a map within it, I don't play, I just back out. But number 4 is going to be holding down a position. So this is not to be confused with camping, right? To me, camping is considered sitting in a corner with the riot shield or a 725 or whatever gun it is, and waiting for enemies to come into that building or wherever it is that you're camping at, and just chilling right there waiting for enemies. Holding your position down is something different. So let's say you want to hold down a building, so you're running back and forth, checking exits, checking entrance points, checking the windows, things like that. You're holding down that building, that area of the map. You're not sitting in a corner in that building camping. And that is something to learn. Holding down a position and changing gears whenever you need to is a very, very good tactic to learn, because if you're playing slowly, then hold down the position slowly. If you want to rush, then go out and rush and hold down positions in the map. So if you see that you're getting 5-6 kills in a row and the enemy is not coming to you no more because they know, okay, well, this guy's smacking us, let's not push that way, reposition yourself to another area of the map where they are at. If that's what it takes, then do it. If you want to play a little bit, that's playing a little bit more passively. You can obviously rush, but holding down your position is gonna allow you to play more passively and go a little bit more positive if you win the engagements, which more than likely you will, because you know where they're coming from. You should know where they're coming from and where all the entrance points and everything are at. So holding down your position is a very, very good one. And don't confuse it with camping. Camping is a whole different thing. But that's gonna be number 4. Let's go to number 5. So number 5, and I feel like this one is to be used with beginners or even people that are already into the game, because a lot of people do use meta weapons. Especially when you're starting out, meta weapons are going to be your best friends, because meta weapons are technically considered the best guns in the game. And I think the best gun in the game for me is going to be the M4A1, considering the time to kill, the damage that it does, and the recoil, when it has little to no recoil. And if you have the right attachments on it, it is a laser beam. So for beginners, that's going to be a very manageable gun, and it's going to be the go-to gun since it's one of the first ones that you unlocked in the ARs. So use the meta weapons, get everything set up, and after you use the meta weapons, then go to other weapons and get used to those, and kind of be using a weapon, a meta weapon, to get used to it, and then move to other weapons like secondary weapons. You can use pistols, you can use melees, things like that, or you can use other guns. The one that I won't recommend you guys to use straight off the bat if you're a beginner is going to be the AK-47. That has so much recoil, it's just crazy. But yeah, that's going to be tip number 5, and hopefully this does help you guys. I know it helped me when I started implementing these strategies. So if you start doing them, you will be well up in there in your KD. You will get more kills and engagements. That's pretty much going to be the end of the video, guys. If you guys did enjoy that, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. For those of you that are new to the channel, make sure to hit the bell notification icon to know when I post, and follow me on social media. Everything is going to be linked down in the description. And like I said, if it brought some information to you, I'll catch you guys on the next one.